Like I said, those types of things say more about you than any of the words that you say. You fix those things, and that's when things start to click.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that, a key point that you brought up that I want to emphasize is that, a lot of guys, when they go to approach a girl, they only half approach her. They really don't go like all out and really put themselves on the line. So what would you say to guys, like, what are some good ways to do that, to really convey a dominant approach? Like, how should guys be approaching women in bars and clubs?
Well, be louder. That's the first thing, right? Don't be afraid of being loud, especially in the bar or club. No one is too loud in the bar or the club. Right? Especially when we're going out sober. Nobody's too loud, everyone's too quiet, all right? So raise the volume, right? Be louder, don't be afraid of being heard, okay? Second thing is go in and don't be afraid of the blowout. Don't be afraid of the rejection. Okay, again, we're coming back to mindsets. Now, what's one key mindset? One of the key things is when you meet a girl and she quote unquote rejects you, right? Say you walk up and she just is not having it. She's like, oh, I'm not interested, or whatever, go away. The thing a lot of guys think is that she's rejecting me. The thing I always remind those guys is, how does she reject you if she's only known you for 10 seconds? She's only known you for 1 or 2 minutes. How is she rejecting you? She's not. She's rejecting your body language. She's rejecting what you said, the tactical mistakes you're making. She's rejecting your approach, not who you are. She doesn't know you. Now, if your mom said, you're a loser, go die, then I would probably be hurt. Right? That's her. She knows me, and that sucks. But if a random stranger says that after meeting for 10 seconds, the only thing they have to judge you on is that 10 seconds of interaction, which means they're stereotyping you. They're stereotyping you based on your body language, based on the things that you were conveying, maybe the words that you said, all of those things. So don't be afraid of the blowout. Do not be afraid of the rejection. Embrace the rejection, because the rejection isn't real. It's all in your head. It's an illusion. She is not really rejecting you. She's simply rejecting your approach, and you don't get better until you do it over and over and over again. So when you're about to walk up, don't hesitate. Hesitation will only poison your belief system. Go in 100%. Go in knowing that if you go in 100%, you give this everything you got, then everything's going to work out. Because if it's successful, then it's successful and everything works out. And if it's not successful, then you just learn something. But in either case, you didn't go halfway. You did it 100%.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to think about it, to respect yourself more for going balls out, regardless of what happens. And I know
Actually, what's funny is something recently happened in New York, and a guy approached my girlfriend. Yeah. And he approached her and he said, hey, what's up? Like, what are you doing? Can I get you a drink, whatever? And he was moderately confident. He walked up, and I was standing right next to her, but I was coaching, so he didn't know what I was doing, right? And she said, no, I'm here with my boyfriend. And he kind of was surprised, and he turns to me and he's like, oh man, I'm sorry, I don't want to get into a fight or anything. And I told him, I instantly shook his hand, and I told him, man, I have more respect for you than anyone in the bar. Not only did you walk up to a woman that you wanted to talk to, that you wanted to get to know, but you walked up knowing she's standing next to a guy. He could be the boyfriend, he could be some drunk guy, whatever, but you had the balls to go up and do that. Right? That says more to me than anything else anyone else is doing in this bar. I have respect for you because of that. I shook his hand and I said, there's nothing to apologize for, dude. You're being a man. You're stepping up, and that's what this is all about.
Exactly. And that's exactly how the guys who are successful with women think about it. Mm-hmm. What would you say, because I know a lot of guys are really anxious about the male competition. Like if you are talking to a girl and there is some male competition that comes up, how would you deal with that?
It really depends on if that male competition is like her brother. That's not really competition, but it's a guy, right, who may cause you problems. It could be the brother, it could be the boyfriend, the husband, random guy. So we deal with each situation individually, right? The general rule is if it's a guy that is important to her, it's someone that you can't blow off really, it's someone that's kind of important to this interaction, then befriend him. Right? Shake his hand, be cool with him. He knows what's going on. You're not fooling him, right? Don't try to sneak under the radar. You have a lot more respect if you just come out and say that, okay? Now, on the other hand, if he's a guy that you don't need to pay attention to, he's a random guy doing the same thing you're doing, right? And he's coming in to take something from you. When that's the case, blow him off. Simply ignore him, okay? As long as you continue talking, you don't have to even acknowledge him. And I know what's gonna happen. You're gonna want to. You're going to want to because every fiber in your being is going to want to turn and face the person who's tapping you on the shoulder, who's saying, hey, what's up? Or, hey, why are you talking to that girl? Or, hey, you're a douchebag, right? Every fiber is going to want to turn and say something or even address him. But the key is not to do any of that. The key is to ignore every instinct. That guy is just tapping you. The more he taps you, the more he is blowing himself out. The more he is self-rejecting himself and ruining any chance he's got with her. So simply keep talking. Pretend like he doesn't even exist. Completely disacknowledge. Don't even move your eyes over. Face the girl, and what you'll notice is that she will smile at you. She will smile because she knows exactly what you're doing. You are completely disacknowledging him. You are completely betaing him. You are completely eliminating him away from that social interaction. And that's how you deal with those guys.
Yeah, and I think the mistake that a lot of guys make is they get into this like insult battle back and forth, and sometimes they win, sometimes they lose, but they never actually get the girl regardless of what happens. So I think that's great. One final thing I wanted to ask you about. We have a lot of guys on our forum who are Asian. I know that sometimes Asian culture can instill limiting beliefs about your sexuality and your ability to pick up and date women. What would you say to those guys? Like, how have you achieved success as an Asian guy, and how do you think other Asian guys can be successful?
Yeah, man, I was the quintessential Asian guy, right? Like, I played Street Fighter, I was a computer programmer, like, I was good at math. Like, the only thing is that I know how to drive cars. But everything else, I am like the Asian of the Asians, right? So I really understand where those guys are coming from. And it's a matter of rewiring those belief systems, right? Those mindsets. You got to take out the mindsets that aren't helping you. And you got to bring in the new ones that are, right? So this idea of not being expressive. Like Asian cultures, we would just don't be expressive. Don't show emotion, right? Be stern, be the man and just never show emotion, right? That doesn't work, okay? Things like being beta, it's rude in a lot of Asian cultures to make eye contact. You look down, that's just how it works. You don't make eye contact, it's rude, okay? In the real world, that doesn't happen. That does not work. Okay, so we got to get rid of a lot of these belief systems, right? A lot of these things non-Asian girls don't like me. But a lot of these things, they're not applicable in the real world. A lot of them are just up here. So we got to rewire those things. We got to change our behaviors. We got to stop hanging out with 500 Asian people who all have the same problems we do. Okay? A lot of times I tell my Asian guys, go hang out with black guys. Go hang out with black guys because chances are those guys aren't afraid to approach. And they have not been socialized into this idea of it's shameful to approach a woman or to go after what you want socially or to talk to people for the last 500 years. So hang out with different people. Expose yourself to different people, to different surroundings, right? Expose yourself to different ideas, to mindsets, and go out there and always remember that you're in this to improve yourself. You're in this to get better, to become attractive. Get a sense of fashion, right? Learn how to speak to people. Learn how to be dominant. It's a holistic process. It's a process of becoming attractive. And that really is what gets you those results.
Yeah, definitely. And that's some great stuff. And, for anybody who is interested in learning how to pick up women, learning how to date women, who's interested in, live training and exactly how to do that with someone showing you, actually taking you out to a bar or club or showing you that, DJ Fuji is a guy. I've seen him coach students on the phone. I've seen him coach students in field. And let me tell you, it's going to be an intense experience, but I guarantee you're going to like it, and I guarantee you're going to have a lot of improvement. So if guys want to learn more about you, where can they go?
I have my website, and it's the Tao of DJ Fuji. Tao being Tao of OFDJFUJI.com. And so I have my blog up there. I have pictures and articles and links to my training and everything else like that.
Great. Yeah, I definitely encourage you to check that out. So thank you for doing this.
Thank you, man. My pleasure.